Hi, welcome to UX Living Lab. Our presentation will start soon. Hi, welcome back. Today we are talking about ideation deck already started. What's next? That is how to analyze ideation deck. In this series, that how to build an innovation culture within the organization. Today we are talking about analyzing ideation deck. Hope everyone is enjoying my presentation and everyone is clear about what we talked last week and started ideation deck. In the part of open innovation journey, we will talk about how to build from innovators mind. In our case, the innovators are users, the users from the user's mind, innovating from people's mind. That's the slogan we are using, that innovating from people's mind. Okay, you can have more clarity on these, or we'll get more information on these from my presentations. Watch my previous presentation as well as follow UX Living Lab news for more details. Coming back to our topic, first I will brief what we discussed last week. Takeaways from last sections. Do you have an ideation deck? That's a question we concluded as a question in last week. If not, start it. This is the initiating step to build an innovation culture and accelerating innovation ecosystem. And what is Ideation Tech? Ideation Tech is a platform to submit and keep ideas from share from stakeholders of your organization or community. So if you don't have Ideation Tech, start it. I hope most of my viewers have Ideation Tech or already in the process of starting it. If not, start it immediately. Then, for more interest, or interestingly, I conducted a brief poll in LinkedIn among my viewers. Do you have an ideation deck in your organization? Most of the people says yes, but around 60% people says yes and 40% says no. Or again, it depends on my viewers, because what I conclude from this poll is my viewers are mostly from Forbes 100 companies, the top officials from Forbes 100 companies. So they are following this method. They already have innovation deck. So if you are from smaller companies than Forbes 100 companies, if you are bigger than 1,000 people manpower company, then it's again a big company. But actually, when we talk about the organization between 1,000 to 10,000, it's always in the second level compared to Forbes 100 companies. So if you don't have, you start it anyway. The Forbes 100 companies are following it. That's my interpretation to this poll. Then, coming back to our topic, how to build an innovation culture within the organization. And today we are talking about analyzing ideation tech. This is a result from another poll, LinkedIn poll I conducted last week. What do you do first when you got a new idea? Think about that. Last week itself, I mentioned that people have a lot of ideas. Okay, you already prepared the ideation deck and it recorded that idea. But what do you do first when you got a new idea? There's a very interesting result I got it. 6% people said I will execute immediately. Okay. Another 28% people say that I will refer books and learn about the idea I have. And thus 22% says that keep it, explore in future. Okay, that's ideation deck. 44% people say that do SWOT analysis of the idea. So majority says that do SWOT analysis on the idea they have. Then refer books, then explore, then execute immediately. Keep in mind the result you have to keep in mind. It's very interesting. We will be analyzing each answer. First, we have to understand what is an idea. I already said that idea is a thing worm. You come to your mind. That's a new, not only just a spark, it's a start point and point. Spark is just a trigger or just a intuition come to your mind. But idea we have to define in such a way that it start from end, but the thinking start from one point to another point. So that is a verb. The concept of them comes in, so we can consider it as an idea. Still, it's coming to your mind without any triggers sometimes, or maybe some hidden triggers you could not identify. Sometimes it's coming from the subconscious mind, sometimes the environment is triggering that, but you don't know why that idea comes to your mind. It's really interesting. Psychologists are analyzing on it, why that particular idea comes to your mind. It's very difficult to analyze. As a human being, we don't know why that particular idea comes to my mind. Maybe because of my education, history of my education, my readings, my subconscious mind thinking, my interaction with the surroundings, lot of things. We don't know. But one thing I can make sure, idea is a new thing to your mind. Otherwise, it's not an idea. If it's not new to your mind, it's not an idea. So you classified it an idea. You already classified it an idea because it is new to your mind. It's new to you, new to your thinking process. Maybe this idea is not new to another person. You classified it's an idea because it's new to your mind. That's a new thing comes to your mind today. That everyone has to accept that's a fact. Otherwise, you won't categorize that thinking as an idea. Because lot of things are come to your mind. You won't think that it's an idea. So you are having a breakfast. Is it an idea? No. You are taking your bath. Is it an idea? No. Think about anything comes to your mind is not an idea. When the new things comes to your mind, you you notice it and you consider it as an idea. That's a fact. So in that context, you have to think, are you capable of doing SWOT analysis? Because are you knowledgeable to do SWOT analysis? That's my question. SWOT analysis is an expert job. Strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat. You are analyzing uh, these perspectives on the idea you have. That means you have a new idea, and you are going to do SWOT analysis. Means you should be an expert on that, or you should have knowledge on that. Being an idea that is new to your mind, I am 100% sure that you don't have that knowledge. So that is, I'm questioning this answer. Oh, you have to think twice. The people who already answered to this, at the same time, if you are agreeing with that answer, you have to think twice. Do SWOT analysis in that idea. That is not a intelligent step. when you get a new idea, because you are not an expert. Otherwise, you have to engage an expert to do sort analysis. That's fine. But at the point when the idea triggers in your mind, comes to your mind, you are not an expert. So avoid it. That may not be agreeable to most of the people, because majority of people saying that do SWOT analysis. That is sexuality of human mind. People think that I know a lot of things, so I am capable of doing. I am more knowledgeable. Rethink what you are saying. At the point or at the moment when idea comes to your mind, you are not knowledgeable on that idea. That's the reason you classified it as an idea. So that's why I'm saying that. I'm concluding in such a way. When idea comes to your mind, you are not qualified or you are not an expert to analyze it with SWOT analysis. That's why I'm not agreeing to that answer. Then the next is keep it, explore in future. That's okay. That's a good thing, but don't keep it forever. Maximum you can keep it for 3 months, because after 3 months it will be obsolete and everything will change. So it's better do something within 3 months. Don't keep it more than 3 months. But it's a very lazy thing, so people won't refer to the old things. So if you have special mindset, or you have a routine practice that you have that type of notes and you refer notes every day, it mark it as a pointer, and that pointer is moving every day, then you are refreshing or glancing through that pointers every day, then only it works. Otherwise, just record it. That is just a record. That's all. Now, no one will look into that. So don't fall into that type of process. You can keep it, but you have to refer it immediately, or you have to refer it every day. That's what my practice. So when I put something in record, I will glance through every day. That means every day I have 250 points to glance through. Then only I can improve that. Otherwise, it's just a record. That's a history. That's doesn't matter. Give any importance to my professional life. Okay, the next one is will refer books and learn. That's a good one. You have to learn about that idea. So you start working on it. You start learning. Then comes to I will execute it immediately. That's really a gambling, because I already stated that you are not an expert to execute that idea. Then if you execute it immediately, it's a gambler's job. You are not analyzing it properly. Whatever thinking comes to your mind, if you are going to execute without proper analysis, you will be in trouble. According to psychologists, data, your failure chance is 94%, because without proper thinking, proper analyzing a context and an idea, if you are going to execute it, only 6% chance to success. So it's a very risky job. So I won't recommend that. And being a professional, and as well as you are working in an organization, that's not a good habit to execute idea without proper analysis. It will affect others also. Okay, then think about the data again. So do the SWOT analysis of the idea 44%, keep it, explore in future 22%, will refer books and learn 28%. I will execute it immediately 6%. According to me, these I will refer books and learn is better. But these answers are progressive. Otherwise, it will adding value to another answers. How it works? I will go through it again. So keep it. That's the first step. Anyway, there is an idea, you have to keep it, because in the next time that idea may not come to your mind. Whenever there is an idea comes to your mind, you have to record it and keep it, because human mind won't generate that idea next time. That is the reason people are not using the idea, because according to the latest study I referred last week, 6,000 plus ideas coming to your mind. How many ideas you are using it, or you are improving, or you are expanding to the next stage? At least one from that 6,000 in a day? I won't think so. I won't think so. Think about it. Otherwise, start recording your idea. How many ideas you are expanding from the ideation stage to next stage as a concept stage. You have to record the idea. While recording itself, you will be segregating that idea. You already rejecting a lot of ideas, because it's very difficult to record an idea from your mind. It gives an expression, or the meaning expression. It gives a statement. Then your mind rethink on that and say that, okay, that's not required. We have to avoid that. So keep the idea is the first step. Then only you can start. Otherwise, 6,000 ideas come to your mind. That's okay. That's again a good knowledge. So tomorrow also again another 6,000 ideas comes to your mind. You won't use it. Next, learn. When you record an idea, the next moment you have to start learning. The best practice is keep the idea in a list and refer every day. Every day. That is important. Tomorrow morning, the first step is you go glance through that list of ideas. So that we can say that is a personal ideation deck. You need not depend on your organization for ideation deck. That's an organization level ideation deck. That's okay. But think about, keep your own personal ideation deck. List down. Don't keep it as a history. That is useless for an ideation. Historical information is useless. So you keep it, then transfer to tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, you have to refer it. In the evening, transfer to tomorrow, then tomorrow morning again. That's the way. Your mind should look into that idea at least 1 or 2 times in a day. Then only you are expanding to next level. So keep it, then learn it. So you start learning, refer net or refer books. You have to start learning. You have to learn. Otherwise, you can't expand the idea to next level. The next is, if you being an expert, or we learned a lot of models, lot of theoretical sides of that idea, or you done a lot of mind work on that idea, you can do SWOT analysis. Always I suggest to get an help from the expert on that SWOT analysis. For example, you have an idea to do something in financial side, it's better talk to a finance expert than do the SWOT analysis. That's better. Because otherwise people said, I know everything in finance, so I am doing the SWOT analysis. Think about the last idea I explained last week. Why can't we use a Big Mac? Why can't we use Big Mac index in our organization? That's a finance idea, but I am not a finance person. So a finance person has to do the SWOT analysis. That is better. Don't do SWOT analysis by yourself immediately. Take time, learn it. After you get a clarity on that idea, first the idea generator, idea owner should get a clarity on that idea, then do the SWOT analysis. Well, during the SWOT analysis, you get the help from others, expert. Oh, if you feel that you are an expert, you can do that, but you double check your knowledge level, then do the SWOT analysis. Then execute. Look into this process. Keep, learn, sort, execute. That is a winning point. So 6,000 ideas you have in mind. Start a record, or start a list of ideas. Every day you are adding 6,000 ideas. It's very difficult. So when you write an idea itself comes to reduce to one or maybe two or three ideas in a week. That's going to happen. Then still it's fine. Still it's fine. Then that one idea you have to learn it. Then do the SWOT analysis. Then execute. That is a winning point. That's what I want to implement in your daily process. Before coming to the organization level analysis, this has to be implemented in your daily process. Then we are talking about idea to reality. Okay, you already done. You have your mindset to that idea. You prepared a lot of things at the idea. Then you learn something, and now you are in a position to explain the idea properly to your colleagues. Then what's next? That you convert idea to reality. So meantime, one more thing I have to explain is idea. When you keep an idea, in the first stage you can keep it as a list. On the next stage, you keep at least one page for each idea, because you have to add a lot of sub points to that idea. That is a way you have to expand that idea to next level. Otherwise, that is like a river is flowing. It's flowing forever. That's all. You are not taking any advantage of that flow. So every day 6,000 ideas is coming to your mind. Next day again 6,000. Yesterday also there was 6,000. You are not taking any advantage of that flow. You have to catch fish. When river flows, you have to catch fish. That's all. Okay, then how to make it reality? Reality, idea to reality is through innovation team. Don't try to execute as your own, because as an individual you have a lot of limitations. That's the first one. Secondly, you are not an expert in all the aspects. You should have an innovation team. Big organizations have their own innovation team. They will be keeping the ideation deck and all these processes. So they have a big innovation teams. In smaller companies, maybe the top management will be the innovation team, or they may not be having an innovation team. Otherwise they will engage outside agencies for that. And for a startup, the person who is the owner of the startup, he is the innovator. There are a lot of limitations when you come down, the financial limitations and manpower limitations. A lot of limitation comes to, but a innovation team is a must. What's the duty of the innovation team? They have to sort out this, because ideation coming from different part in an organization. Think about, now I'm talking about how to manage ideation in an organization. So if we think about an organization is having 10,000 people, then 10,000 employees. Ideas coming from at least one idea from one person is 10,000 ideas coming to your desk. I'm 100% sure that that is not happening in any of the companies in the world, because that type of ideation is very tough to manage. Because think about, one idea out of 6,000 is get recorded. If there are 10,000 plus employees in your organization, one idea out of 6,000 is get recorded. You have 10,000 idea every day to manage. It's a huge task for an ideation team. It's very difficult to manage. Very difficult. Anyway, so that's the reason people are doing SWOT analysis their own way. That is degrading the quality of the idea, or most of the beautiful ideas will be rejected, and that sort of, that's the reason you think you are doing your own sort of, that's the reason you are thinking that you don't have the idea. That's what I notice. Most of the people say I don't have no new ideas, because ideas is coming to your mind, but you do your own sort of analysis based on your limited knowledge, because you are new to that idea, so you can't do. So okay, that idea won't work. I Immediately the second thought is your ideas won't work, and your mind going to the next idea, because that's an excuse you got for the first idea, from the first idea, and go to the next idea. So I am working on second idea because the first idea won't work. Why it is not work? No, I know that it won't work. That's all. So if you are following like that, your professional life as well as organization will be missing great ideas. Think about what comes to Newton's mind when apple falls to his head. So many times apple falls before that. That's not a new thing for the entire community. So apple is flowing. Apple is coming down for years and years and millions of years. So before Newton. So when apple falls to his head, that sparks an idea, sparks and thinking process. Then he works on it, because if he share that idea to others, what happened to this person? Well, this person thinking that apple will go up. So what it is? What is talking? So yep, that is not a new idea for other person. At the same time, they will block that idea. They will stop that idea based on their own sort of analysis. Because what's their analysis? This person has some mental problems, and is weird, and we had to go to a hospital to check that. That's the way the other people will think. In one sentence, like I said, people will laugh to that idea. But if Newton also having that same perception, he has done that type of sort of analysis, then the entire physics will be in a different direction. Am I right? Entire maths will be in a different direction, because everything comes from that point. Law of physics as well as calculus starts from that point. So think about that fact. That is the reason people are saying that I have no idea. So if you think that there is 10,000 ideas into your ideation deck, it's a huge task for innovation team. So what the innovation team has to do? It has to segregate that ideas and engage the expert. Maybe all the financial idea go to the finance expert, or the costing idea will go to costing expert, or the production ideas will go to production expert, or the marketing ideas will go to marketing. And that's where you have to segregate that idea and hand over to the expert team to analyze it. That's the first duty you have to do if you start an innovation test. Otherwise, still most of the companies are continuing with the personal innovation deck. That is the problem in most of the companies. I noticed that it won't go beyond a certain level, because personal ideation, the person himself is not an expert to analyze his idea. He's not learning on that it will stop at the next first second level or third level. So innovation team is an important thing. You have to constitute that. Being a startup, you have to put your good friends or the professional friends to that. So you may be limited with manpower as well as financial resources, so you can't manage that type of team. Being a medium level company, you can engage consultants and as well as employees to that team. Being a big company, you have to keep a full-fledged innovation team as well as consultants for that. Okay, that's it. To reality, that's very important thing. So because I'm suggesting that, because the person who is the owner of that idea is not an expert to analyze it at that point. That is one of the important drawback I notice in most of the companies. Then innovation team, already built an innovation team. Who should be in innovation team? Team lead should be there. Idea owner, the person who contributed that idea, that person should be in that. He's a, we can call it as he's the owner of the idea. So idea owner, then UX designer. These are the three people is inevitable in the team. Then you can add other people, but start with these three people. Team lead, he's the person who has to organize and who has to move forward with that idea. Then idea owner, that person is having the emotional feeling as well as the owner of that idea. He always think on that idea. He should always think on that idea in a casual way, or as an owner, as an investor. But team lead will think in a professional way, and UX designer should convert that idea to a drawing board or idea to a wireframe model to move it. That is a first step. Anyway, these three people is a must in innovation team. Then only it starts. Otherwise, it's a beautiful ideation deck. You can get a report that, okay, today there are so many ideas submitted. Okay, these are ideas submitted on that category, this category. You can use these as just a performance indicator for a employee. That's all. It won't move forward. That's why I said just creating the ideas or listing the ideas is very easy. Then what is happening after that? This is very critical. Very important thing or very critical point where if you are moving from ideation to concept. Okay, anyway, you have to constitute that innovation team. It should contain these three people at least. Then, of course, you will be facing a lot of bottlenecks when you go to execute the ideas. Organization culture, investment needed, resources needed, whether my idea have the penetration to others' mind, because others has to agree to that idea. You need resources to execute that idea. Investment, financial investment is required, or time investment is required. As a startup, there is no financial investment, but you are spending on time. That's also an investment. Then culture. Other people should have that innovative culture to accept your ideas. So these are the main bottlenecks you will be facing when you start executing the idea. That's why I said you need a team lead. So entire innovation team has to execute. That innovation team will face these main bottlenecks. Then there are a lot of other things, statutory, legal things. A lot of other things will come into big companies, but these are the first. How to overcome these bottlenecks? Whether I can explain my idea with ROI. ROI is return on investment. If you, my organization will invest on this idea, this will be the return. Can we explain this? Most of the people agree to this point because ROI. So management will be fascinated with your presentation because this is going to happen. This will get. I'm 100% sure that that's you can take it as a startup culture, and I'm 100% sure that with a high chance of about more than 90 plus 9% chance to fail it. Because why it is failing? Because just an idea creation is not the right time to analyze ROI. Because return of investment is a huge calculation process with a expert knowledge, and we need a lot of variables to that. You have to analyze dependent and independent variables and external variable. Then only you can convert it to a break even point, or you can analyze net present value of the project, break even, whatever maybe the calculation you are doing. You need a lot of information. You have just started with an idea, so that is not the right time to do ROI. So if you someone doing with ROI at the ideation stage, just forget it. Because most of the ideas coming into the world, if you analyze with ROI, it won't come to the world. Look into Apple, look into Amazon, look into any big companies who, oh, Elon Musk, the Tesla. So look into these type of ideas. If they look into the ROI of that idea, it won't come. It won't come to the world if you look into the ROI at that point. At that point, you need a dream, you need a vision, you need a culture. Then only the idea will move forward. When it comes to prototyping stage or MVP stage, you can look about the ROI. That is better. So in ideation stage, ROI is not the right tool. Then competitor analysis. Okay, you can look into the competitors. Any same idea is there. People say that okay, the competitor is doing that idea. Most of the people doing it as a negative thing because all competitor already start with an idea. But what I suggest is you keep neutral and analyze what competitor is doing and what are the drawbacks. Because if competitor is using that idea, that's a positive thing. Because another person, another company is accepting doing the same idea. That means there is a requirement for that idea to the community. So if you convert that idea to reality, that is a need for the community. More than you, another person also found that there is a need. That is the way you have to go to. Competitor is a good thing in most of the cases in business. Otherwise, it's very difficult to enter the market. If there is no competitor, it's very tough to enter the market and get the returns. It's take time. So competitor is the right tool to expand your market. Okay, don't look into most of the startups say, oh, that's a new idea. Nobody is using it. That itself is a negative thing. Nobody is using that idea. You can execute that idea in an innovative way, but nobody is using. Okay, you can do it, but you can change the habits. You had to change the culture. A lot of things you had to change. And it takes time. It takes investment. Whether are you capable of waiting for that time or waiting? But because being a startup, you can't wait more than 2 years. It's very tough. But being a big company, they will wait 10 years to make it happen. So that's the difference between a startup and big company. While executing an innovation, while implementing a innovation, so they have 10 years to wait and as well as change the habits. You have only 2 years. But most of the managers said we had to implement it in 2 years and get the feedback, but it won't happen. So it will take most of the novel ideas. I'm talking novel. I'm not talking about the day-to-day ideation. I'm talking about the novel ideas or visionary level ideas. It takes 10 years to implement. Okay, it's competitor analysis. Then opinion from clients, that's also a good step. So you can talk to your clients and maybe internal clients or as well as the external clients. You can talk to them, get their opinion. Then opinion from users, you have to go to market and get their opinion. So you can do all these methods and analyze your idea, whether it is in the right, you are thinking in the right direction or not. So you have idea, then prepare a plan, prepare an action plan. This is the way you can prepare everything. So if you complete this process, you may be doing SWOT analysis. That's correct. So again, you SWOT analysis to be done by the innovation team. Okay, at this stage, you have a lot of information about that. You are going to migrate that idea from the ideation stage. After empathizing with these people, competitor analysis or client analysis, or user analysis, you are empathized your idea, then you are moving to concept stage. That is the next step. Still, there is a problem. Still, why my idea lacks support? So you have done all this analysis. You are promoting your idea. Still, your innovation team is supporting your idea. Still, my organization say that not supporting your idea. That is the biggest problem in most of the people when I talk about. So they say that I presented a lot of ideas to management. They are rejecting it. And even though my colleagues supported, my innovation team supported, my team lead supported, but when they go to the top management, they rejected it. Why my idea lacks support? It's a great question you have to tackle. Even after all these analysis, you say that the client needs it, your market needs it, and you've done the competitor analysis, how we can do it in a different way. You have the execution plan, you have the SWOT analysis, everything you have done. Still, it stops at a point. Then at this point, the problem is you will be frustrated because no one is supporting your idea. Why my idea lacks support? See you next week for today's takeaways. How to build an innovation culture within the organization. The takeaways are: when idea comes to your mind, keep it, learn it, do the SWOT analysis with expert, execute. That is the steps you have to follow. For that, you have to build the innovation team. Then, by using the innovation team or with the experts from the innovation team, you have to analyze your clients, users. You have to go to market. You have to go to client. Then analyze different aspects, maybe primary data or secondary data, and compare with the existing ideas or your idea, and make up your mind and do the SWOT analysis. This is a step after creating the ideation deck. Ideation deck to be sorted, then create an innovation team. Each idea needs innovation team. Don't say that there is, okay, I have a innovation team in my organization. It's something like a finance department. Every idea will go to them and they will execute. It won't work. It's something like a government missionary. So there is a department called innovation. So I'm talking about innovation team means each idea needs an innovation team. With a better word we can use is innovation circles. Innovation circles. So each idea needs an innovation team. So you have to constitute an innovation team to each idea, then do the analysis. So think about if there is a 10,000 ideas in your organization in a day. Think about it. You are not using the idea from your team. That means if you are how many ideas you are getting? If you have 10,000 plus employee team, how many ideas you are getting in a day? Maybe 10, and it's manageable. If it comes to 100, it's a little bit tough. Then if it comes to 1,000, okay, that's gone. So think about the total idea of 10,000 people. That is 10,000 into 6,000. From that, you are getting 10 ideas in a day. Still, you are struggling to manage that. So, how effectively you are using your resources? Think about that. So, what I am saying is keep innovation circles. There are different methods you can adopt at that point for developing that innovation circle, because you may, even though you have a 10,000 people team, you don't have that manpower to use it. So make it the idea person idea owner, and he can find a team lead. Team lead is a person to organize everything. So then other teams, other people to that ideation team, that idea owner can select from anywhere. That's one of the biggest best method. You can select from his friends and colleagues, not from his organization. So you can add the community or add the stakeholders from outside to make it innovative. Then the idea owner get a great attachment to the, because he feel that it's its own idea, then he had to move forward. Maybe the company can invest some amount on that, but he can. Investment is more easier than getting the manpower. Investment is more easier for a big company because finance is a secondary. The first problem is manpower and its culture. So put that innovation circles. Include people from the organization and outside the organization and make it. Even though you are a big company, Forbes 100 company, you have to do it in that way. Then only it works. Otherwise, you are not using because of lack of manpower, you are removing or you are deleting the ideas. You are not encouraging the ideation process because you don't have the manpower to execute it. That is one of the biggest reasons. Okay, so these are the takeaways. So come next week, we have to sort out why my idea lacks support. Questions. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. My presentation is a continuous flow from my mind that based on my experience and my interactions and my learnings every day. So that's the way I do all the presentations. So I hope that you enjoy that method. If you have any suggestions, what are the things lacking in my presentation, you can comment. At least you have to comment something because then only I can improve. That is what I'm expecting from you. And if you have any questions on this topic, put it in the box. I will answer it now or later. You can scan this QR code if you want to talk to me about any of this stage of ideation process or how you can use these things in your career. That also I will support you. You can talk to me. So what I do, I will listen, I will plan, I will execute, deploy, measure. Not I will support you for this. How to listen, how to plan, how to execute, how to deploy, and how to measure your ideation or innovation journey. More than ideation is the first step. So now we are talking about ideation. So entire innovation journey, I will support you with these steps. Waiting for questions. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your time. See you next week.